right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about the discussion that oftentimes comes into our mind is the one thing that we have no ability to gain more of is time, unless we add efficiency into our time matrix that we traditionally operate on. So I'm going to kind of start this out with a conversation and a breakdown that kind of discusses this concept of what we're trying to do. So this is called the Eisenhower decision matrix. And this is a really powerful value add in a lot of ways to the discussion of how do we work through task items and how do we discuss when things should be done and when things should not be done. So Dwight Eisenhower was one of our presidents. Hopefully most of you know that. But he was also a four-star general. He actually might have hit five-star. I don't know that answer. So if whoever has it, please respond back. But he was a very efficient individual. And he did this through using this Eisenhower decision matrix. It became the Eisenhower decision matrix. But basically the function is, if something is urgent and it is important, those are the things you do immediately. Whereas if something is urgent or not urgent, but also important, all right. Hopefully I'm back. I don't know if I'm back. I think I'm back. Sorry, we had a power outage, and that obviously threw us through a loop. So hopefully we are back to the decision matrix operating in where I believe we were at, and that is on the basis of not urgent and important, making sure that we decide and schedule a time to get that accomplished, whereas not important and urgent operate through the basis of delegating. Who can do it for you? Is there a person that the time value of money of you putting action into it is not necessary because it is not important in that mindset? And then the facts is that if it is not urgent and not important, deleting it off and eliminating it completely from your actual decision. Now, this is a great avenue to grow your business and to see value in your business, but it has to be something that we put into category. So in that discussion, we go through the next step of this conversation of what I brought you on today for. Now, that is to use an app called Shortcuts. So this is a function that operates through iPhones. There are variants in this in Android and other services, but this is a great avenue to discuss and have a discussion about how to add shortcuts into your daily life. Now, these are a couple shortcuts that I've added into my daily. Now, if you'll notice, I have quite a few. We're only going to knock out a few of these. So these these are things that allow you to gain more time in your day when you're outside of that Eisenhower decision matrix. When these are things that are tangibly able to be done by you and allow you to eliminate wasted time. So these are just a couple things that I've added in. So the first one, as important, and hopefully my wife is tuning in, I have to call my wife, call Stephanie. Now this is something that a lot of you already may have through a quick function menu on your favorites on your phone call, but this allows me to add this to my actual home screen that I can simply click a button and it will already start to generate that phone call. The same thing goes into this next conversation about directions to a next event. So what this happens is it looks at my calendar. So if I've kept my calendar up to date, it will allow me to just simply click that button. It will find my next calendar event and give me instructions to that. What this allows us to do is just simply save that time from simply typing in what we already have in a system and typing it in again to identify the timeline. The next one is probably one that I have to use more often than I would care to wish, and that is the discussion about running late. So basically, this will do two things. Now, I will share all these shortcuts into the comments below, both on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook channel, but basically, this next one is allowing for, it will look at what my timetable to get to my next appointment is, and will send a text to that person. Now, there are a couple caveats to this. The first one is you have to have that person as a said contact on your actual calendar event, but it will send them a message. It also allows for a text message to send out to that person and tell them that you're running behind. Now, let me break back a little bit and kind of have the discussion about why these are so important and why these work out so well. So just before this going live function, I texted about 64 people. Now this encompasses my entire network of people that tune into these events, but I texted all these people and it took me about a total of about 5, maybe 4 or 5 minutes for that entire batch. That is done through shortcuts. So once again, I could text all those people individually. I could text them in a group, but am I going to have as effective nature and as direct nature as sending them a text individually? And shortcuts has allowed me to do that through this process. Next one that I'm going to run through is blocking off 1 hour. So if I run this task, it's going to block off an hour of my day to accommodate for what I'm trying to accomplish. So if I need to separate myself in that Eisenhower decision matrix, I can do that very quickly and easily. Same thing goes into if I want to put in a do not disturb timer, I can set it for a few minutes, a few hours, set my timer, and set up my do not disturb in that moment. The next one is one of my favorite because I am always having a phone that's dying. And everybody that knows me knows that my phone dies regularly. And I use this, so that kind of gives you a feeling for how many phone calls I'm getting, how many texts and emails, and so on and so forth. If I click this method of charging fast, I can't do it right now because it will shut off some of my things that are working in my system. If I click that, everything goes down to minimal to allow for charging at a high pace and allows that to move very quickly. Now this next one, my favorite and probably my most used, order Starbucks. So this is actually a shortcut that's created by the iPhone itself. If I click on order Starbucks, it will order my order that I order all the time, and it will order it at the store that I order it at all the time. It will do it with one touch. Now, the value here is me not having to go to the app, open the app, fill out the detail, pay for the payment, all those things. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that 30 to 40 to 50 seconds or a minute or so time saved allows me to give an extra minute of time to my kids, allows me to give an extra minute to that person that I'm talking to on the phone. Remember, time is the one thing that we cannot generate more of, but we can operate in a higher efficiency to accomplish that. So this next one is just a simple task that I wanted to show everybody. So by doing this open back office, it opens up a web page. Now that doesn't seem like a big deal, but rather than having to type in the web page, rather than having to go to the specific place in the web page, this allows me to function quickly to any web page that I need. And because Apple products tend to focus on Safari, this allows me to open it up in Chrome, which I prefer, and allows me to function that basis really quickly. I can also add this to my home screen so I can go to it even faster. And then remember that next step is, where was this taken? So this is an interesting one. So where was this taken? If I open up this task, basically runs through this concept that if I see a picture in my photo history that I don't know where this was taken. So for instance, if I see a picture of a bathroom and I can't remember which bathroom that is, I can use this shortcut to tell me the exact location of where that picture was taken. So it goes through the geodata, identifies that, and tells me where it was taken. Guys, these are just a few of the concepts of things that I use every single day to help make my life just a little bit simpler. Because a lot of people, as they know, I have a really chaotic schedule. These are tasks and items that I put into play every day to help me through those processes. And remember, I have things for messages if I'm sending it out to certain individuals. I have things that I'm operating on at all times to unlock my door, if I get certain types of leads, if I'm trying to access certain types of systems. Now, the question is, this is just a big old jumble. Is this taking more time than actually putting into aspect? And the answer for me is no, because I use them every single day. And therefore, because I use them, I know where they're at. I know where I've put them specifically to make me just a little more efficient. Now, I'm not sure if this got out to any of you because we did have a power outage in my office, but I hope that this is going to add just a little more value to your everyday process to save you and to earn back just a little extra that time so you can spend it with family, so you can spend it with loved ones, and make sure that you're using your time effectively while operating in business. And remember, a couple things. One, I will throw a lot of these shortcuts that I posted up here into the comments. And number two is, don't forget to use that Eisenhower time matrix to identify when things need to be done and when things need to be delegated, and also when things need to be planned. Remember, guys, we have multiple series going throughout the entire time. As we went off, you noticed that there was a fundamentals class with Andrew and with Kent. That is on Thursdays at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. And then we have Tea with Andrew on Wednesday at 3 o'clock Mountain Time. And then we have our Agent Attraction meeting, which is on Fridays at 8 a.m. or excuse me, at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Guys, tune in. We're here to help through this process. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, don't hesitate. We're here for you. See you later. And hopefully this got out to the web.